Hi there, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine. I make journals out of old books that are their next journey down the road was going to be the recycle depot or the burn pile. And I find them and I give them new life. And they find a new career as a journal, as so many of us have had to done and do in this day and age, suddenly find a new career partway through our lives. That's the way I look at it with the books that I make. They're just getting a new career and a second chance to be useful. So yes, I know it's October, but 'tis the season, and I'm working on the list, which was the book I started last year, and I'm finishing this year. but at least I'm finishing this little beauty. So I've got a lot done on the text block, but there's a few things that I need to do before I can pull both things together. On our beautiful cover that we made, that I'm utterly in love with. Don't you love that key? It looks like it can magically be locked so that if he happens to have it with him, say he's at a store or a party and he's getting the wish lists from children and he's got his book with him. I imagine, what if he could magically lock it so snoopy little eyes can't go looking through and find out where they are on the list. Oh, I know. I get way too involved in these books. Anyhow, I was thinking that I might like to put I used to put journal snoop alarm bells on a lot of my journals when I first started making them. And I was reminded of it when I started going through my Christmas things, and I pulled out a bag and I was hearing bells going off. And I thought, this book, maybe it needs a jingle bell, or what if a bell falls off one of the reindeer's harnesses on the important night, and it's just not right without the bell on that harness. Or as it's journal snoop alarm bell, if the book gets picked up, you'll hear the snoop alarm and know that somebody's again trying to snoop at that list. So I started going through some of the bells I've got. I've got tiny bells, I've got big bells, I've got bells with poinsettias on them, I've got colored bells, I've got silver bells. I think that this is a traditional bell. I think it's too small, but I will leave it out in case it's just right for another journal. That's more like a church bell rather than a reindeer bell. So then I have these. I like the white one just because it's different. It's got a nice ring to it. I'm imagining the places where that's better, because I'm going to put a eyelet right here, and this is the time to do it. You can't do it after you've put your book together. There are other ways to put, if you wanted to put a bell through the if you've done a hidden hollow back spine, you can slide a thread and tie it that way and hang a bell on the journal or a key, that sort of thing. Oh, a key. No, because the key's in the book already. No key. So then I like this one. It's a nice size. I really like sort of that buttonhole look on a bell. And I like this this ledge that's on it. And it's got a nice sound to it. And it's a nice size. It's not too big and bulky. However, this is a big book and it could handle big. And I'll tell you what, I'm really tempted. I'm really, really, really tempted. I have actual bells from Horse's Harness. I was able to find an entire broken off strap from Horse's Harness. And the owner had written it on, thank goodness. I do that sometimes with things I donate in case what I'm donating looks peculiar and the thrift store doesn't know what it is that's been donated. And the other day when I was going through the craft things, remember it said fabrics suitable for crafting, you know. I bet thrifting stores appreciate that. Anyhow, I was able to get them off of the leather strap years ago, and I have a few more left. So that actually is off of a husbandry animal's fancy harness. Can't you just imagine as they're going through the air or landing on rooftops? Rooftops comes out easier. And I'm thinking I need to put an actual jingle bell on it. The nice thing is I can decide later in a way right before I glue it in. What's important right now is to get the hole and the eyelet in the spine right now. So let me get out my gear for that. Okay, so I've got my larger eyelets. I've got my handheld crocodile. There we go. And I need the larger hole. I'm going to find a white pen so that I know approximately where the center is. Doesn't need to be perfect, but approximate. Gosh, that's a 3-inch spine on that baby. I think I want it. Am I in the picture? I am. Okay, good. So I need it at 1.5. There. There we go. You probably can't see that. I can see it. So that's what matters right now. And I have to decide how high up or low down. I have fortified this. I gotta remember not to make things too difficult on myself. So all right, no going back. It's in. Now, what color? There's a lot of gold. Gold seems to be the natural choice, but oiled bronze also feels like it might be a good choice. Let's see, oiled bronze. Is that what they call it? Oiled brass? Oiled bronze? I've got a silver one trying to go along for the ride. Okay, there's that. Here's a gold one. See, that gold seems too new. Sometimes I have a different shade of gold because these are all, sometimes they just get tossed into goodie bags at the thrift store, and when I find them, I just throw them into this jar. I don't, no, white is too white. Black? No. Red? What about a brick red? No. Brown? That's black. I thought I had brown. Nope, I don't see any brown. I'm leaning towards this one. Let's pop it in here. I'm leaning towards that one. This one just looks too brand new. Yeah, that's the one. Don't make it so hard on yourself, Catherine. I had to do a bunch of eyelets this morning in the text block. Oh my goodness, I was a nervous Nelly. I was certain I was going to, hold on, let me concentrate. There. I was certain I was going to punch holes. When I'm chomping down using that part, I always forget that that makes these two things alive and active. And I have been known in the past to punch holes in pages when I was more concentrating on setting the eyelet. I was also at the same time on a page in behind punching a random hole somewhere in the middle of that page. Oh, that's very frustrating. So I was setting quite a few eyelets in little tags on the text block. I was wondering what to do with this. This was the original bookmark. It seems so tiny for such a large book. I wonder if that would be... I'm worried it would tear easily. I can see through it in some places because usually for something heavy like this, the best way to hang it from an eyelet in a spine is with a bow. Let's come back a bit. There we go. But this, I think I'm going to have to find a different way to honor this, even if I just tie it in a little bow and put it somewhere in the book so that it remains with the book. And this will go in a different way. Let me go take a look at my ribbons and things. I think I like these. I think I like one of these. This was in thrifting, of course. I found a box of leftover self-printable, or wedding kits that you can get, invitation kits that have all the different things so you can print your own invitations off your printer at home. And I found one that still had lots of blank envelopes and blank cards and blank tiny return envelopes and all that. And it also had all kinds of these in it. So they were obviously meant to be used somehow in with these wedding wedding invitations. But because they weren't printed on, they were perfectly usable for me. And these ribbons are also perfectly usable, and they're a nice dusty gold rather than a bright yellowy gold. Oh, there's just something about a jingle bell. It's okay. That's better. Stay out. Stay out. I wonder if I should press these. Or whether that's where I should tie the knot and leave this really long. Or whether I should just trim one. Yes, that's what I need to do. I'm going to trim one. You'll see what I mean in a second. On an angle. And then still tie the knot. Where that tangle is. Guess I could have left it longer to give me something to work with. We'll get it done. We are tenacious, us junk journalers. Yes. The nice thing is, if I change my mind and don't like this, you can still find a way, because it's hidden hollow back. See, I don't like that little dent there. Because it's a hidden hollow back, you can still find a way to fit the ribbon in there, even if you've put your text block in. I apologize when I lose words like that. I just do that now. So your patience is appreciated. I'm going to leave this be for now, see if the weight of it sort of works out that little thing. I have a teeny tiny hair iron, and if I put it on low and just give that a little press, I think it will be good. But I otherwise love that. It's a similar color to what I've used for the sari silk ties. So I'm happy with that. Now, where are we? 19 minutes. Okay, we have time. Let me show you what I've been doing. Oh yeah, I like that great big huge, boy, I better be careful. Scissors near the sari ties. Whoa. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's good. I was thinking of putting tassels on. I have tassels. I think they were from curtains or something. But a jingle bell, a spare jingle bell, is far more important for Santa than tassels. Now, again, it's a junk journaler's prerogative to change their mind. Fair warning. And I'm sure you'll all agree with me. I still will stand firm that this still is a mostly naked journal, but I have gone a little bit crazy with the fun on the pages. And I haven't put the lace on it yet. So, yikes. I've got parts of it hanging down here. I've got some are on rusty paper clips, just a little bow. I like how those turned out. I've never done that before. Here's one here with a bow. So here, I'll take it off and show you. So it's just, I held it upside down and I just tied the bow on it. So it puts a little bow either on the side here, which looks frilly and cute, and it's on a blue page, so I like that. But it could go up top, and it can hold a card. And then I've put on some tabs, and I've put little charms. This is a jingle bell on this one. This one's a moon and a star, because of course, you know, Santa, that's when he travels. He doesn't come to your house till you're asleep. I made a Nancy star. If you watch Wishes and Weeds last week, she taught us how to make these stars out of 3 little squares of fabric. So I used some of the Christmas fabric that I was using along the edges here, and I made a star, and I thought it needs gold, so I didn't have a whole lot of gold buttons, but I found that one. I wish I had a flat one, but didn't have a flat one. So this one has a little, you know, the thingamajiggy on the back. It still works, I think. Some of them I wanted to make it look like it was hand sewn on, and then it's been glued. But some of these I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and sew. What have I got there? Oh, I just put a little angel with some lace. Huh. I'm surprising even myself from what I found from the previous year. On pages that have blue, I've been having fun with blue distress ink. And you know me, if you've been hanging around, this one I need to do my sewing machine contortionism, but I can't bring you with me when I do that, so I thought I'd at least show you. Oh, here's another little charm. It's a snowflake on that one. And then again with the blue ink on pages, there was blue lines, so I thought, well, I'm going to put this little fellow, I think he's singing, or else he's looking, maybe a page of the list fell out and he's looking at the page on the list, because it's you can see he's got a piece of paper. So I think he's singing. I think he's going around caroling. He's going a wassailing. Although he's a little too young for wassail. This one has a reindeer on it. It's actually a wine glass charm, but that's the joy of thrifting. Just keep your eye out for things, and they can be used for other things. I love that reindeer charm. And then here is just a plain pearl, but I thought, you know what? It kind of looks like a snowball. So there's lots of little charms along the sides. Now I have some lace off of a runner, and after I get the whole thing together, I do want to find a page where I can glue it on and have it hanging out the bottom like that. But I'm not sure where yet, and maybe have another one. I'm not sure whether I want one out the top or whether I want one out the side. Yeah, I like out the side. I have to start looking and see what needs to be filled in for the profile. And I can see right here, there needs to be something in here. I wonder if I've got a piece of white paper in here. Not very often I use white paper, but I did use a few sheets of white. Look at that pretty little bird. No, I don't see any in here. Well, maybe some of my bullet paper, and put it in there. Let's see. That is a good spot for it. Right there. I try not to, this is movable. This bow is on a paper clip. And I don't think it's going to stay there, because you need, when you do a full side like this, you need to make sure there's a fairly clear little path just through where if you're putting ties on it, where your ties will be, just so you don't mash anything important. So I think this is going to have to move. Now these are flexible. If they were like the cardboard whale tail tabs, you could find yourself in trouble if you put one right in the center when you've put ties on your cover. So there's a little hint too that I learned the hard way. Yeah, it really does need to go in here somewhere. I'm looking now. You might think, Catherine, why are you putting us through this? This isn't terribly exciting. Because, like I said, a lot of these are going to be I'm going to be taking them over to my sewing machine off camera and sewing them all down. So I have to do this part. This is the part I can do with you, and then later on I can show you how it all turned out. That's where I want that to go. So let's just do this for now. This is that really low tack painter's tape. So I'm just going to put it there like that for now. Because one last thing that we can do together before I sign off and head over to my sewing machine is I do want to put a permanent bookmark in it. There we go. Now I'm going to fold it in half. Thank you, Martha Stewart, for teaching me this. Fold it in half, angle your scissors, and give yourself a dovetail finish to it. And then I want it to hang down a bit on the inside. So this is grosgrain, so both sides are the same. So this is the time to do it. If you're going to put a permanent bookmark into your journal, now's the time to do it. Again, you can probably squeeze it down there and mush it into place using a ruler if you've done a hidden hollow back spine. But if you didn't do a hidden hollow back spine, I'm not sure how else you'll do it. But we have ways, and I bet you can find a way. Let me just clear that out because it doesn't want to make life easy for me. There we go. So Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1, just so that you know for sure you've got a good hold. And then eyeball the center. I may have wanted to do this before I put down this lace. I'm not going to worry about it because there's enough lace that it can go to either side. It's almost sort of a mini situation that I was warning you about with the cover ties and things that you have sticking out on your pages. And here I've done it to myself with my bookmark. That's okay. We're flexible. So that is nice, especially when you're putting a bookmark in. They say that you should hold a loop up there before you put it down, so it would go like that anyhow. See what I mean? And that's in place, so that's nice and solid. And then we've got it sticking out the bottom here, so that's another dangly thing hanging out the bottom. But these are all fabric-y, so it could still, if the person wanted to, store it upright. A book like this, I'm not so sure I'd want it stored upright. I think I'd want it either in a, you can get really pretty like plate racks. Some of my pretty journals, like especially my Christmas journal that I made for junk journaling every day in December. That one year I did one of my family stories. I put that out on display, and I actually have a plate holder that I put it on so that it leans there, and I can actually open it up to certain pages if I want. I'll take a picture one day to show you when I've got my Christmas things out. So there we go. We've got that in place. I'm afraid now I have to say goodbye and go and do some sewing along the edges of these pages so that I can glue this into this. But thanks for joining me as we put a Jingle Bell onto the cover, and as we talked about all these little things and where they're going to go. I'd like a little bit more lace because once you're in it, in for a penny, in for a pound. We're definitely going in for a pound now. The penny, we're way past the penny. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Today is I'm filming this on our long weekend for Canadian Thanksgiving. So you'll be seeing this on Monday, which is our holiday for our Canadian Thanksgiving. And we'll be getting together with family and seeing grandchildren, which is always nice, and not having to cook but help. I love that part. Especially I usually I I usually get to make the gravy, and I must confess, if there's anything I'm really good at, I'm good at gravy. I think it's something that's in our genetics, because my mother made good gravy and her mother made good gravy, and it's just something we can do. And even if everything else in the meal tastes lousy, if the gravy's good, you just smother the food in the good gravy and that meal tastes delicious. But this dinner is actually going to be really good. So, anyhow, so if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And as well to friends who are in the southern states that got hit so horribly last week and the 2 weeks before that. That's just so unfair. 2 violent, horrible, destructive storms. You're all in my heart, as we get it all on the news up here as well. We get all the stations, all the TV stations that the United States gets. Canada gets them too. It feels like there are stations. So we can, you name it, we get it. ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, MSNBC. We get them all. So we were watching the storms and hoping for the best through both of them. So, happy Thanksgiving to you all, and I'm going to talking about Thanksgiving and thinking about turkey and gravy and all that. I look at my clock and it's lunchtime, so I'm going to get going. Take care. Bye.